Is this what you want? This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, it's the hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here from Monday Night Raw on Off the Script. It is Monday, March 2nd, 2020. I ask, and I and you received. Awesome. Beth Phoenix took an RKO. Beth Phoenix took a deserved RKO. Beth Phoenix took a much-needed RKO, though I would have had Randy Orton go a little bit more psychotic on Beth Phoenix, but I know that we live in a different time and a different day and age, and this is not the Attitude Era, so I am genuinely surprised that Monday Night Raw pushed the envelope the way that they did with Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix to close this show tonight. I'm surprised they actually went and did the RKO to Beth Phoenix. And it sold what I think right now is easily, there's not even a competition at this point with anything else on the Monday Night Raw card, even the SmackDown card. This is the very best storyline going into WrestleMania. Edge and Randy Orton. The only thing I don't like about it is that it consists of someone who contractually is obligated to only do 25 to 30 dates a year. But regardless of that fact, Edge and Randy Orton and the storyline that has been developing on Monday Night Raw is easily the best program going into WrestleMania. I wish I could say the same thing about everything else that happened on this show, man. I don't want to be overly negative. I never want to be overly negative when it comes to WWE. But after last week, I am in such a fragile state when it comes to WWE. I cannot give them a pass. I just can't give them a pass for what they did last week. And Monday Night Raw has definitely shown improvement. I don't want to hear from these cretins on social media that it's been consistently great for months now. 1 hour out of a 3-hour show being good every week is not what I call consistent. It's consistently bad at that point, but it has not been consistently great. Nowhere close to it. I cannot give these people, I cannot give Vince, I cannot give Heyman, I could not give Dunn or Bruce, my good old buddy Bruce over on Friday nights. Still wondering where Mustafa Ali is, by the way. Bruce. I can't give any of these people a pass. Last week was one of the biggest creative failures in the history of WWE, and it's certainly that mentality has certainly carried itself over to Monday Night Raw. Everything on this show, from the Street Profits winning the Tag Team Championships, to Aleister Black losing, to WWE having Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane in the same match, a.k.a. two heels, then Becky Lynch coming out as a Dollar General version of Conor McGregor. What is going on this show? Did everything that happened last week, like I said, get carried over to Monday night in Brooklyn? I don't get it. The show is not booked in a very logical manner. It looks good on paper. Tonight was one of those shows where Monday Night Raw looked great on paper. Had Shayna Baszler and Asuka one-on-one, right? Who doesn't get excited about that? Two of the baddest women in WWE. Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. We got that tag team match with Angel Garza, who's been lighting it up in WWE, teaming with Andrade against Rey Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo. Then we had, obviously, Brock Lesnar being there. The tag team titles on the line. Street Profits versus Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins. It's tough not to get excited about Monday Night Raw when you look at that on paper. Then we got the show tonight in Brooklyn, of all places. And it just falls flat on its face. There was so much to complain about. There was so many illogical creative booking decisions made on this show. Things that I'm questioning. And it's in my given right to question everything that WWE does. Why would I not question everything that WWE does? The one thing I don't understand in this community is how people could be like me and complain that the product is genuinely bad, which it absolutely is, and then right away turn the other cheek and praise what they do. After a week like last week, they don't deserve your praise. Why would you justify anything this company does? Why would you go out there and elicit some type of hope and faith that these people are going to do something right when they've not, after last week especially, not even tried to make things right? That's what I don't understand. Why you critically shit all over the company and then less than a week later turn around and hope and give them the benefit of the doubt and have some type of faith in World Wrestling Entertainment. That's something I will argue to till the death. And those are the people that I don't want to communicate with, especially on social media. So as always, that's what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to go over everything illogical that happened on Monday Night Raw, try and make sense of it, discuss, and like every single Monday, give you the best Monday Night Raw review in the IWC. I am JD. This is Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw review. Follow me on Twitter, at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. So thank you guys for live tweeting with me tonight during Monday Night Raw. Make sure you guys go out there and check out all the other content on the channel. Off the Script this past weekend was on fire, as always. Episode 315. Already prepping for episode 316 this weekend. And we got another pay-per-view coming up. The Elimination Chamber on Sunday night from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I'll be taking care of all that stuff heading into the pay-per-view on Sunday. If you missed my AEW Revolution pay-per-view review, everything you need is linked down below in the description of this very video, including, that's not even the best thing I did all week, the most scathing rant, the most scathing SmackDown review possibly of all time. Make sure you guys go and check that out. That will also be linked down below in the description. Make sure you guys also hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. If you want to support the podcast and show some extra appreciation, that is patreon.com/JD from NY206. Let's get into the top of the hour with hour one. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. It's nice to see Brock Lesnar back on Monday Night Raw. It's nice to see him finally mixing it up with Drew McIntyre after McIntyre has been keeping busy with MVP the last couple of weeks, and Brock Lesnar's been handling Ricochet. You know, the guy that said he earned a WWE Championship match in Saudi Arabia. I still can't get over that comedic just bullshit that WWE went on and showed us on TV for a couple of weeks that Ricochet is a top contender for the WWE Championship. A top contender where? Maybe in catering, but not on Monday Night Raw for the world title. So they dropped the ball on that one, but we are past that, and we are now moving on with Drew McIntyre. Lesnar and Heyman are in the ring. Heyman says it's their job, literally, to come out there and hype you on WrestleMania. Well, Paul, you're not doing a very good job on hyping me for WrestleMania. And it gets more ridiculous with every word that he said in this promo. He then said, and this is what got me because he was blatantly lying to his own people. He was lying to his own people in New York. He then said, it is actually the most stacked WrestleMania lineup in decades. I'd love to know where. I'd love to know where this is the most stacked lineup in WrestleMania history. We got Lesnar and McIntyre for the WWE title. It's all right. Not going to shit on it because I am all for people getting their opportunity. Deservedly so, like McIntyre. Roman Reigns versus Bill Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble, and Roman Reigns, all he had to do for a title shot and say, I'm next. That's all he had to say. And poof, he's granted a Universal Championship. We got Charlotte, the android, versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. We all know why that's being done. 3 little letters, folks. AEW. That's why it's being done. Yet, I came on here for a couple of straight weeks. Nobody believed me. Everybody thought I was complaining just for the sake of complaining. Charlotte on NXT is not going to be a ratings draw. And what happened? NXT failed to draw a rating with Charlotte Flair. There you go. Who was right? I was. And I take great pride in that. Believe me. The Undertaker versus AJ Styles. I've seen better. I've heard better than AJ versus The Undertaker. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, The Fiend. Bray Wyatt. The WWE Championship is not on the line. John Cena isn't chasing number 17. What is the purpose of the match? Why should I care about Bray Wyatt chasing a win against John Cena at WrestleMania? What will that do for the Fiend character? I don't want to sit here and complain about it anymore because I've said my piece. You guys know that without the WWE Universal Championship on the line in that match, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. So I'd love for Paul Heyman to tell me how this is the most stacked card in decades. I fail to see it. I really do. So, fans are booing. He called them Pavlovian dogs, is what he said. He said they want to sell you on Drew McIntyre. Oh, just like how Vince wants to sell us on Roman Reigns. That's why he's in the Universal Championship match at WrestleMania. So, Vince also thinks that we are Pavlovian dogs because he wants to sell us on Goldberg and Roman when it shouldn't be Goldberg and Roman, when that match absolutely does not need the Universal Championship. Am I in the ballpark, Mr. Heyman? I think I am. So he said Drew is a hyped-up fraud. He said they cheer for Drew because at the Rumble, Brock didn't survive against 15 of the top stars in WWE. He massacred 15 consecutive top stars in World Wrestling Entertainment, only to get hit from behind in the testicles by Ricochet, which left Brock Lesnar vulnerable for Drew McIntyre's Claymore kick, and Brock Lesnar going over the top rope, eliminating him from the Royal Rumble. Top superstars such as Elias, who was eliminated in about, 60 seconds. Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, whatever the fuck he's going by nowadays. He was eliminated in about 30 seconds, right? MVP, top stars in the WWE, you say, Mr. Heyman. How about Shelton Benjamin, who just signed the new 5-year contract and hasn't seen the light of TV in months? Top superstars in the WWE, you say, Mr. Heyman. This guy blatantly came out and lied in front of my people. Shame on Paul Heyman. Heyman scolded the fans for cheering all of that information. He said they offered no excuses that Drew kicked Brock in the face and eliminated him from the Royal Rumble match. How in the hell does that tell you Drew McIntyre can pin Brock Lesnar? Well, I don't know. Why don't we go ask Ricochet, who asked himself and everybody else, why not me? Why not me beating Brock Lesnar? Same deal, right? How in the hell does that tell you Drew McIntyre can pin Brock Lesnar? How does that tell me that Ricochet earned a title shot by beating two losers in a triple threat match and then being granted a championship match and then crying, oh, why not me? Why not me? Give me a break. So he goes on and says, the next time Brock lays eyes and hands on Drew, it's over like that. He said Drew is nothing more than a stupid big bitch that's going to get squashed at ... Crowd started booing after the big stupid bitch line at WrestleMania. Drew's music hit and then he made his way to the ring. Uh-oh. Now we got some trouble here, Mr. Lesnar. Heyman looked concerned. Lesnar looked concerned. And then that concerned look was more of a sarcastic laughter by Brock Lesnar. So Drew stood on the ring apron. He stared at Brock. Lesnar stared back. They went nose to nose. Drew looked down at Brock. Brock smiled and nodded. He walked away. Brock pretended he was going to leave the ring, charged at Drew, and Drew was ready almost instantaneously with a Claymore kick in midair. So Heyman checked on Brock, who laid out on the mat, as Drew smiled on the stage before exiting, and then they stayed with this. Drew McIntyre's music is playing. He delivered another Claymore kick, and then the crowd started to chant, one more time, and he gave him another Claymore kick, making it 3 in total. He picked up the WWE title. He held it up. He yelled in front of the Brooklyn Barclay crowd, and then he threw the title on top of Brock Lesnar. I didn't have any problem with this overall segment. I thought it did a very nice job to sell the match at WrestleMania. I'd love to hear more from Drew. I know we heard him in the sit-down interview with Renee Young. I want to hear him face-to-face with Brock and face-to-face with Paul about why he deserves to be at WrestleMania with the WWE Championship, why it's taken him so long, what this means to him. I want him not to say it in front of Renee Young in a sit-down interview. I want him to express all of this to Paul Heyman. I want this out in front of the live audience to hear. I hope that we just don't get, oh, Claymore kick, oh, F5, oh, Claymore kick, leading to WrestleMania. That's going to make it boring. That's gonna show me that WWE doesn't have any plans for the WWE Championship match. They got a plan. The winner, Drew McIntyre, more than likely is going to be the new WWE Champion. But the story is going to need some more as we get into WrestleMania. And, as always, I have no faith in WWE because where they fuck up once, they always fuck up. They don't know how to book anybody, but they certainly do not know how to book a babyface champion. I do not have any faith in them booking a Drew McIntyre babyface title run on Monday Night Raw. Look at what they did to Seth Rollins. Dead. The guy won it, and they ruined him. I absolutely foresee WWE doing the same thing with Drew McIntyre, and I swear to Christ, you go follow Jinder Mahal on Instagram and look at this man photographed on his Instagram page, and you tell me, you try and convince me that he's not getting ready for a WWE Championship program. I guarantee you, Drew McIntyre is going to suffer the same fate that Seth Rollins did. Seth got Baron. Drew McIntyre is getting Jinder Mahal after WrestleMania. I am guaranteeing it. I guarantee it. And that's something I don't want to see. This was good. This was something that sold the pay-per-view. And that's all I could say about it. There really isn't much else to say on Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. It's all in the follow-up WWE has not shown me they could follow up anything. Moving on here, man. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy versus the Street Profits in a, I guess, what the now or never match they called it, I believe. This was a now or never match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. I don't really understand the logic of why this match happened, A, on this show, B, especially after the Super Showdown show where we had the Street Profits lose. They lost not once, but twice to Seth Rollins and his ministry. So why on earth are they getting another championship match? I just can't put my finger on the logic here. I am struggling to figure out where the logic is here. So I went on social media and I complained after the match, of course, because I like to call out the bullshit that I see because nobody else is going to speak up about the bullshit. So the match happened and the Street Profits are the new Monday Night Raw Tag Team Champions. Granted, great. Happy for Montez Ford, happy for Angelo Dawkins. I think they are a very good tag team. I don't know why I should care after months and months and months of these guys doing SNL skits and looking like comedic jokes. And they were reading off teleprompters, being official spokesmen for this show. I don't know why I should care about the Street Profits. WWE has done nothing to make me care about the Street Profits. Why was this match a now or never match on Monday night? I don't get it. It's like WWE is telling you already before the bell even rings that this is not a now or never match. This is a Street Profits are going to win the tag team title match on Raw. That's all it was. The now or never was a complete bullshit sell for this match. This was predictable. Predictable's not always bad. If it's predictable, it could be good. But this was a bad predictable. They didn't do anything to really give you that excitement of a tag team title chase. They already told you the titles were changing hands before this match even got started. And why do the title switch on Monday Night Raw? I don't get that. They went, right after the match was over, they went and booked the same match at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Why would you not do the change on Sunday, but would rather do it on Monday? That's what I don't get. Now, that makes me think that the WWE hot-shotted the titles just for the sake of hot-shotting the titles on Monday, because it's in New York, it's in Brooklyn, it's the Barclays Center. They want to do something big on this show. And that's exactly what they did. They made it feel big, and it felt unimportant. They wanted the title change on Raw, but it didn't come off as a big deal. They wanted to hotshot the title because they were in New York City. That's exactly why they did it. I don't like this decision. I don't like this decision about the Street Profits winning the tag team championships. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. First of all, they didn't deserve a tag team title shot again after they just lost on Thursday in Saudi Arabia. Why would you take the titles off of Rollins and Murphy so soon when they've basically done nothing with them? Goes back to what I originally stated. Why are you putting the tag team titles on a tag team that's not a legit tag team? It's like, you got a tag team in that same stable. Why not give it to them? And here you are taking the titles off of a non-tag team and putting them right back on a legit tag team now that has no teams in the division to feud with over said championships. And why would I care about the title change when I just previously stated that the Street Profits have been treated like an afterthought? They've been treated like jokes for the last 6 months. There was no chase for the tag team titles. There was no excitement. There was an undeserved shot given to them again and again and again. So please explain to me why I should care or why I should be excited about the tag team championships changing hands when the chase was non-existent. All it was a hot shot of a tag team title in a dead division for the sake of a pop. That's all it was. Now, that's unfair to the Street Profits because I want to like the Street Profits. But I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to give WWE a pass or a bye because they fucked up the Street Profits and put them in this position. The Street Profits should have been called up from NXT and they should have been two guys on this show. They should have been a tag team on this show that were built up correctly to a point where they were running through this division. No matter how non-existent it was, they should have come off as a deserved team. Not like a team like the O.C. or the Viking Raiders or the AOP. They didn't do anything to earn these shots at all. They were just given a tag team title opportunity. So excuse me for not being excited when the chase, which is one of the most important aspects of a title feud, the chase was non-existent. It wasn't even there. So please, I'd love for you to tell me why I should be excited when I gave you all these facts, all these little things that were just built up over weeks and weeks and weeks of television that they did wrong. Now you expect me because, the championship changed hands. Now I should care. I don't care. Now we're getting the same match for a fourth time on Sunday. I would not be shocked if WWE puts the titles right back on Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. The Street Profits don't even make sense as tag team champions. They don't factor into the overall grand scheme of the story. The story is Seth being the Monday Night Messiah and feuding with Kevin Owens. It should have been Kevin Owens who made the tag team titles the most important thing in his feud, taking down Rollins. The story per WWE, but they failed to tell it, should have been Rollins leading Murphy to the tag team championships. Tag team championships being the thing that is most important to them on this show. They should have been the heels as champions going into WrestleMania. Could still be. We don't know what happens on Sunday. But they should have been the champions going in, or they should be the champions going in to WrestleMania. And it should be Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, the guys that they have been feuding with all this time, to take the titles off of them. Not the Street Profits. The Street Profits are just a sideshow piece that WWE didn't have any plans for, so they kind of threw them in here as an option C. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I don't know why I should be excited about this in the end. Rollins and Murphy lose the tag team championships. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. How they lose them? Well, Rollins and Murphy had gotten the advantage. They got the referee to turn his back. AOP was on the stage. AOP was called from the ring by Seth Rollins while he distracted the referee. The referee seen AOP about to attack the Street Profits, and then he ordered them to the back and kicked them out of the ringside area. So the fans started cheering. Seth Rollins was throwing a fit. Referee did not see it. Kevin Owens comes in and stuns Seth, and Dawkins took Murphy out at ringside. Ford went up top for a top rope frog splash, and they won the tag team championships. Great pop, but in the end, it means nothing. In the end, it means nothing because the story doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, what do we do with Buddy Murphy and AOP at WrestleMania? Are they just happy to be there? Are we going to get Seth versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania? What about Samoa Joe? He'll be back a week and a half before WrestleMania. Is he going to factor into WrestleMania? This is why it doesn't make sense. You took the titles off of them, and now you're leaving out 3/4 of Rollins' group, and you're going to go and book a Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens one-on-one match? What the fuck is the point of it? What does it mean? Oh, great, Kevin Owens gets a win over Seth Rollins. Oh, joy. Fucking color me unenthused. I don't give a shit. I would be much more happier if Owens and Joe took the titles off of Rollins and Murphy. But after Sunday, if that's not the case, I just don't find myself caring about this at all. I'm sorry. Oh my God, man. Speaking of I don't care. Holy shit. Riddick Moss versus Ricochet. Riddick Moss is the 24/7 champion. Ricochet apparently is still wearing the same trunks that he wore in Saudi Arabia. I'd love for Ricochet to get rid of them and bring them back to their rightful owner. It looks like he's wearing Alexa Bliss's fucking ring attire. I don't know what the fuck he's wearing. Go back to being Ricochet. So I see this match and I see the referee here holding up the 24/7 title. It's amazing to me how people are arguing with me on social media that Ricochet is not buried. Ricochet is dead. Dead. This guy in NXT was an absolute stud. Guy fighting Velveteen Dream, looking like the coolest motherfucker on the face of the earth, flipping over the ropes and coming face to face with the Velveteen Dream. Him and Aleister Black ran through the NXT Tag Team division. They won the Dusty Classic, a Match of the Year candidate against the Viking Raiders at TakeOver New York. North American Champion, matches with Adam Cole, matches with Johnny Gargano. This guy was on his way. I even said it. The people watching me all these years know I said it. I was a huge Ricochet advocate. I looked at him and I said, this guy is a future WWE champion if they do things right. He is the next AJ Styles. And now, literally a year later, guy gets called up. He's still with Black. He's getting tag team title shots. Black and Ricochet had shots at the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT tag team titles in the same fucking week. The same WrestleMania week on Raw on the Go Home show. Tag team titles for the Raw, tag team titles. NXT, TakeOver, tag team title opportunity against the Viking Raiders. And then they were in that four-way at WrestleMania last year. What happened? Literally a year later, this guy has been fucking euthanized on Raw. Dead. I don't give a shit what you sell me on. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care if you tell me to be patient. I don't care if you tell me all it's in the story. It's not in the story. The story is Ricochet is buried. The story is Ricochet is dead. All you need to do now is fucking hand Vince McMahon the shovel and start pouring the fucking dirt on the casket because he's already in. The lid's closed. All Vince McMahon needs to do is start shoveling the dirt into the fucking grave. Dead. I don't know what he did. I don't know who he pissed off. I don't know who he sneezed in front of. I don't know who he coughed in front of. I don't know. This guy going into Monday Night Raw with Heyman in charge was supposed to be one of the big six on this show. And I don't know what happened. I really don't. Ricochet's crowning achievement in WWE is dating Casey Catanzaro. That's his crowning achievement in WWE as we sit right now. Casey better be good at licking his wounds, if you know what I mean, because that's all he's got right now. That's all he's got. Dead. When you're losing to Riddick Moss, when you're losing to a guy that holds a joke championship, number one, when you lose to a guy that the crowd in New York, of all places, is chanting, "Who are you?" You are buried. Buried. I got an idea for Ricochet. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe after tonight, Buddy Murphy gets kicked out of the ministry. Buddy Murphy inadvertently hit Seth Rollins. Buddy Murphy could be the one being blamed for the loss here against the Street Profits tonight. What if Buddy Murphy gets tossed from Seth Rollins' group, and with Ricochet just on this losing streak, he looks absolutely just dead to everybody. What if Seth Rollins enlists Ricochet and Ricochet turns heel and he enlists Ricochet for the ministry? And under Seth Rollins' tutelage, because he's the Monday Night Messiah, what if he leads Ricochet back to his winning ways? I don't know. It's something. Other than that, this guy is main event bound for the next 6 months. Awful. Ricochet is dead. 9 minutes, and Ricochet loses a 24/7 title match a title in which nobody came out and chased the championship at all. Just a straight one-on-one match against a guy who nobody knew in New York City. I can't speak any less of Ricochet than I do right now. Hour 2. Styles. AJ Styles is in the ring. Says he's in a bad mood. So am I. It's WrestleMania season. I'm always in a bad mood this time of year. Said he deserves to be in possession of a beautiful trophy, but someone deprived him of that honor. He named The Undertaker. Fans are chanting for The Undertaker. Styles said Mark Wahlberg produced a viral, quote-unquote, video that attempts to give him advice. So he threw it to the Titantron, and we get a video of Mark Wahlberg talking WWE and Super Showdown. Please, please, stop with the celebrities on this show. It is cringe. I don't want to hear from anybody, including Mark Wahlberg. So Wahlberg told Styles to walk away. Ted was not there with him, by the way. The stuffed teddy bear Ted? I would have rather heard from Ted than Mark Wahlberg. Can we get Seth MacFarlane on the screen, please? Mark Wahlberg said to Styles to walk away from this situation and not push his luck with The Undertaker. Walk away while you still have a chance, he said. Walk away. Styles says he won't take his stupid advice. He said he's already on a collision course with The Undertaker. Unofficially confirmed for WrestleMania. Oh, great. Great. He told him to watch his match against Aleister Black tonight and then consider it a warning. He said Taker is trying to hold on to the spotlight that isn't his anymore. That spotlight is now mine. So Aleister Black is in the ring, makes his creepy entrance. He gets in the ring, and I'm thinking, all right, start of hour 2, we're getting what I think should be a WrestleMania match right here on Raw. On paper, it looked great. Did we get Aleister Black versus AJ Styles? Of course we didn't, folks. WWE clickbaited you again. How do you feel being in Brooklyn, paying to go see this show, and you're advertised to get Aleister Black versus AJ Styles, and you get Aleister Black versus Luke Gallows, or Aleister Black versus Carl Anderson instead of AJ Styles? Wouldn't you be pissed? I know I would. This match absolutely took everybody out of the rest of the show. AJ Styles says, well, you didn't read the contract, Mr. Black. The fine print says that it requires you to beat Carl Anderson first. So what does Aleister Black do? He beats Carl Anderson because Carl Anderson is a loser. They're not the O.C., folks. They're not the official club. They are the OL. They are the official losers. Man, WWE is creative. How many weeks have we seen Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in one-on-one matches lose consecutively, back-to-back, in the same night? I think I've seen it way too many times, more times than I can remember. But that makes them the greatest tag team in the world, says WWE. I don't see a greatest tag team in the world. I see a bunch of fucking losers on this show. So he beats Carl Anderson with a black mass. What did you expect? So that's 6 minutes against a loser like Carl Anderson. So Styles then revealed the contract said, well, if he beats Carl Anderson, he's got to get through Luke Gallows. So Gallows beat up Black before the bell. So in another 6 minutes, Aleister Black goes through Gallows and Anderson in 12 minutes. He beats Carl Anderson with the black mass, and then Luke Gallows got disqualified because he would not adhere to the referee's 5 count in the corner. He kept kicking Aleister Black in the corner, and that was it. That was it. DQ. DQ's a loss. He lost. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows lost again on the same night. Now, Styles and Black happened. It happened. But for 3 minutes. Styles aggressively went after Aleister Black at the bell. Styles won with a phenomenal forearm because Black was too beat up by the OL, the official losers, to do anything here in this match with Styles. but he crossed Black's arms over his chest after the phenomenal forearm and covered Black like The Undertaker would cover his opponent after delivering a tombstone. This was fucking awful. Absolutely fucking awful. Do you want to know why this was awful? Because all I seen here was, WWE fucking clickbait you into thinking we were going to get a WrestleMania caliber match with AJ Styles and Aleister Black. And all we got was false advertisement because they realized, well, we need more matches for Sunday's pay-per-view. So instead of giving this match here like they advertised, they saved it. They sacrificed Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and now are saving it for Sunday in a no disqualification match. Because Philadelphia is synonymous with extreme. The last time Aleister Black was in Philadelphia in a no disqualification Extreme Rules match, it was against Adam Cole at TakeOver Philadelphia. So here we are, as history repeats itself. Not Cole, but this time with AJ Styles. I don't understand why you did what you did here, because all it tells me is that Aleister Black was fed to AJ Styles so that he can make a point to The Undertaker. I don't give a fuck if he was beat down by Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows. I don't give a fuck if it was the entire locker room. What you did was bait everybody to get this match on Sunday, and it looks like, to me, you fed Aleister Black for the AJ Styles Undertaker feud. So where exactly does that leave Aleister Black for WrestleMania Sunday? I don't get it. All this does is pretty much guarantee that Aleister Black will be in the catering battle royal on WrestleMania Sunday. And that's not somebody that deserves to be in the battle royal at WrestleMania. He deserves more than anybody, really, because he's had the Shaft on this show. This guy got called up. He's 34 years old from NXT. Sat in a fucking closet for 8 months on SmackDown. Gets drafted to Monday Night Raw. They finally start using him this year. And now he's getting a Shaft at WrestleMania after last year played a big role in a tag team title match at WrestleMania. Doesn't really seem fair, if you ask me. All I seen was Aleister Black being fed to the AJ Styles Undertaker feud at WrestleMania. Now, if this no DQ stipulation is in effect on Sunday, I will take everything I said here back. If WWE's plan, because we seen AJ Styles and The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia, nobody wants to fucking see that again. Oh, but JD was only 1 minute. I don't give a fuck if it was 1 minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. The match happened. It's in the record books. Undertaker pinned AJ Styles. We've seen the match already. Why would I want to see it again at WrestleMania? I don't give a shit. A lot of people don't give a shit about this match. It's only there because it's in the spotlight. Because WWE's trying to sell this shit to ESPN Plus. That's the only reason why it's there. If what I mentioned on Twitter does not happen, I stand by my point here. But if what I said on Twitter does happen, then I will take back everything I said here. Because then Aleister Black will get a match at WrestleMania. I don't know why you wouldn't give Aleister Black a WrestleMania spot. No DQ, he got beat up by the OC. I'm thinking, well, it was a 3-on-1 here tonight, and AJ is unconfirmed right now to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Why don't we see Black, The Undertaker, and Kane in a 6-man against AJ and the OC? I think that would be a great WrestleMania moment for Aleister Black to team with the Brothers of Destruction. You get your AJ and Undertaker shit. You get Aleister Black to get the revenge on the OC. And boom, you can move on from all of this. And then Black can move on to maybe the U.S. title. AJ can move on to something else. Seems like a good idea to me. A lot of people don't want to see that match, but how else are you going to include Aleister Black in WrestleMania, if not that? I could see the no DQ playing into the OC's hands on Sunday. And then I could see Kane come out and save the day, which leads to the 6-man match being booked. I don't know why. I don't know why you did what you did tonight if that's not the plan. I just don't get it. And if that's not the plan, then WWE fed Aleister Black to the Undertaker AJ Styles feud. Aleister Black's not winning on Sunday. Why would Aleister Black win on Sunday when AJ needs a win going into WrestleMania? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Unless the 6-man happens, Black was fed. Charlie interviewed Ruby Riott about the Elimination Chamber. We seen a replay of Liv Morgan and her return 2 weeks ago. I'm still trying to figure out what the difference is here in the gimmick. What was the gimmick change for Liv Morgan? Still trying to figure this out. She still looks like the same Liv Morgan to me. She's only dressing a little bit different and she's fully blonde now. She looks like she stopped sucking Papa Smurf's cock. That's the only difference that I see. I don't know. I don't really understand what the difference here in gimmick or what the gimmick change was for Liv Morgan. So Ruby Riott said that upon her return 2 weeks ago, dropping Liv on Raw was great. Charlie asked about the splitting up of the Riott Squad. Riott said people prove themselves to be loyal or disloyal often. She said she's responsible only for herself, though, and this Sunday she'll prove her ability to strike whenever she damn pleases. She said she'll show the WWE Universe there are no friends inside the chamber. The Elimination Chamber really shouldn't even be happening, period. If Roman didn't have to go through the Elimination Chamber, why the fuck should Shayna Baszler? Because we all know she's going to win, right? Give me a break. WWE continues to push Becky and Shayna on Monday Night Raw. Yes, please tell me why Sarah Logan or Liv Morgan or Ruby Riott or fucking Natalya is going to win the Elimination Chamber over Shayna Baszler. I'd love for you to fucking tell me why I should suspend my belief in a very predictable outcome. So Ruby Riott versus Liv Morgan because we got a build towards the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. Sarah Logan was the referee here. I don't know. I don't care. I don't. Liv Morgan wins in 4 minutes. The best thing about this? Nothing. Nothing. Maybe Liv Morgan's leather attire. That's about it. Nobody gives a shit. A graphic, again, WWE forcing the agenda down your throat and pretty much justifying their behavior at Super Showdown, again showed that Goldberg's Universal title win and the picture of him holding up the Universal title on Instagram was the most liked photo on WWE's Instagram ever. Continue justifying a terrible creative decision, WWE. Do they give a shit about what you think? Absolutely not. That little fucking statement, that headline, that graphic proved to everybody that they don't give a shit about any of us at all. And No Way Jose. Yes, No Way Jose is on Raw. Yes, No Way Jose is still employed. He's with his conga line. Jose approached Erick Rowan and asked if he could see what's in his crate. What's in the box? So Rowan said he's been waiting for someone to ask nicely. I don't know. Maybe I am short of memory. But didn't Mojo Rawley ask what was in the crate as well several months ago? This was before the Royal Rumble. Didn't he ask what was in the crate? And Erick Rowan let him peek into the crate. So Erick Rowan obviously forgot about Mojo Rawley asking. And No Way Jose does not pay attention at all to what's going on Monday Night Raw because he's too busy sitting in fucking catering, just mulling over recipes with Titus. But if No Way Jose wanted to know what was in the crate, all he had to do was go and ask Mojo Rawley, because Mojo Rawley was the only other guy on the active roster who's seen what was in the crate. This storyline had logic gaps in it, and WWE wants to pretend like nobody knew what was in the fucking crate. Give me a break. I remember. But WWE doesn't expect you to remember because it's fucking Monday Night Raw. Who the fuck would? So No Way Jose asked what was in. He then, Rowan, lifted the tarp or the sack over this crate and revealed it. He pulled out a gigantic robot tarantula. Yes. Some people were telling me it was an Australian tarantula. I don't know species or breeds of tarantula. I am afraid of spiders. I would say I have arachnophobia. But this was awful. This was awful. This reminded me of exactly what I had been stating all these weeks. And I said it. WWE didn't even know what was in the crate. WWE had no idea what was going to be in the crate when the reveal was supposed to come. Whenever the reveal was going to be, WWE didn't know what was going to be in the crate. This is the epitome of that statement. WWE said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go to the Halloween shop across the street from the Barclays Center and buy the dumbest looking fucking fake spider that you got on the shelf in stock and put it in the fucking crate. This thing reminded me of what I would see on my neighbor's lawn during Halloween to scare the fucking kids while they trick or treat on Halloween afternoon. This was embarrassing. Not only was this embarrassing, Erick Rowan and his gimmick is dead. What is the spider going to do? What is the spider going to do now? Is the spider going to fucking cheer along with him at ringside? Is he going to still carry it around with the fucking sack over the cage, pretending like we don't know what the fuck is in it? Is it going to sit in catering with him and snack on the fucking saltine crackers Titus has nicely laid out on the fucking table? Absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, I know he's hated in the community. And everybody thinks he's a cancer for whatever reason. But Brad Shepard reported that this was going to be the whole gimmick, that a spider was going to be in the cage on February 20th. And what happened? There was a spider in the fucking cage on March 2nd. Give the guy some props. Seriously, give the guy some fucking props. Nobody else? I didn't see anybody else report that shit. Not one single soul fucking even came close to what was going to be in the fucking cage. He got it right. So when are we going to stop shitting on people for doing their job? I do my job, I get shit. He clearly did his job, and he gets shit on for it. There you go. This was awful. A fucking furry tarantula robot was in the fucking cage. Erick Rowan, now nobody gives a shit about. Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. I forced myself to stay awake during this match. This was boring. This was absolutely boring. First of all, you're in Brooklyn, number one. The crowd died after Aleister Black lost in the manner that he did because they felt the same way I did. How are you going to go about booking two heels in this match and expecting someone to be over or expecting someone to get over? Now, this wasn't going to work with Asuka. This wasn't going to work with Kairi Sane. It doesn't fucking matter who it was. I would rather it beat Kairi because I don't think Asuka deserves to be in a match where everybody's sitting on their fucking hands waiting for someone to cheer for. How exactly does this get somebody over? I had a very difficult time figuring this one out. Nobody knew who to cheer for. The crowd was dead. The crowd did not give a shit about anything that happened here. And I find it funny how Kairi and Shayna had some pretty damn good matches in NXT. And here they are on Monday Night Raw. It's slow, it's methodical, it's paced terribly, and it's downright fucking boring. What have I said, folks? Vince kills, Triple H creates. This match sucked. This match did nothing for either of these women. Baszler wins in 13 minutes. Kira for the clutch. Kairi Sane went up for the insane elbow. Becky Lynch was... Well, we'll talk about Becky Lynch in a second. But Becky Lynch was at ringside. Well, not ringside. She was at the commentary table. And Kairi went up top for the insane elbow, dropped the insane elbow. Baszler got the knees up, and then applied the Akira Fuda clutch, and Kairi Sane tapped out with Baszler winning. Becky Lynch came out in the middle of the match, and she was wearing, this woman raided Conor McGregor's closet. She was wearing a large yellow fur coat that was completely obnoxious. It looked like something Conor McGregor would wear. She was wearing her fucking sunglasses. She was wearing this big crown on her head. She looked like she raided Carrot Top's prop closet. That's exactly what she looked like. Listen, this is going to be a hot take. I don't give a fuck who shits on me or not. Becky Lynch is downright awful. At this moment in time, this is downright fucking awful. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who thinks this is the right way to go about booking this match. Becky Lynch is, and I know, believe me, I know what the story is here. Becky Lynch thinks her shit doesn't stink. Becky Lynch is going to think that going into WrestleMania until Shayna Baszler fucking pushes her shit in and she makes Becky tap and she wins the Raw Women's Championship. Please do not assume I don't know what is going on here. But that does not justify Becky Lynch coming out looking like a fucking circus clown in whatever she was wearing. This is awful. This version of Becky Lynch is deviating so far away from what we originally fell in love with Becky Lynch in the first place. Becky Lynch chasing Ronda Rousey in the Raw Women's Championship going into WrestleMania was genuine. Everything about Becky Lynch's chase was genuine. Everything about Becky Lynch holding her hands up going into the Survivor Series with blood dripping from her nose was genuine. She was a star. When she won the women's title, everybody was happy. I was happy. You were happy. Everybody was like, yes, WWE listened. And it's as if WWE is trying to kill the genuine just perception of Becky Lynch. I don't know how anybody could justify this shit. It's almost as if WWE wants you to cheer for Shayna Baszler. How could you cheer Becky Lynch looking like that? They're actively doing everything in their power to make you say, I want Shayna Baszler to win. They're actively doing everything to make you feel like you cannot wait to see Becky Lynch lose that title. Who is this? And who thinks this is the right creative for this feud? This had so much hype and so much intrigue. The thought about it coming out of the Survivor Series. Oh, it's going to be Shayna versus Becky at WrestleMania. Oh, Shayna's going to win the Royal Rumble. Now this is what we're getting. We're getting Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades, the true badass in WWE's women's division. And I'm talking about the entirety of the women's division. Shayna Baszler, their true badass, against somebody who is pretending to be a female version of Conor McGregor. You're trying to be the real Conor McGregor in a scripted reality. This is not the Becky Lynch that we fell in love with. This is a fucking clown who I cannot wait to see lose that championship. Get that title off of her and on a real woman is all I see here in this feud. And if they keep this shit up, this match is going to fall flat on its face on WrestleMania Sunday. I don't know how you're building excitement for this match. Are you excited to see this shit? Are you excited to... Now, granted, they got 4 weeks left. But again, I'm not giving these people faith. I'm not giving these people hope. I'm not giving them the fucking benefit of the doubt here to book this shit. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is their WrestleMania build. I'm sorry. Shayna Baszler cannot win that championship fast enough. Awful. Baszler put Kairi in the clutch again, and Phillips was calling her remorseless. This fucking creative team is remorseless for us on Monday night. Andrade and Angel Garza with Zelina Vega versus Rey Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo. Now, when I seen this, I'm thinking to myself, well, I watched Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane barely, two heels go at it, one-on-one, and I heard this crowd, I seen this crowd, and they didn't know who to cheer for. The match was so fucking boring because they had two heels. The crowd didn't know who to cheer. And then I watch this match, and I see the baby faces, Humberto and Rey Mysterio against Garza and Andrade, the heels. And I'm listening to the crowd, and they're alive. They're cheering. They're booing. And I'm like, oh, that's what it's like when the crowd knows who to boo and the crowd knows who to cheer. Whoever booked that Shayna Baszler Kairi Sane match is a fucking idiot. That didn't do anybody any good. This was easily the best thing on the show, match-wise. This one went 20 minutes, rightfully so. Humberto got over, and the only reason why he was over here was because A, it's New York, and B, he's teaming with Rey Mysterio. Andrade's losing that title, folks. It's happening sooner rather than later. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know who it's going to be to. But Andrade's days as the United States champion are over. So Rey eventually rallied, tagged in Carrillo, who got the hot tag. He ran hot all over Andrade. Top rope drop kick for a 2 count. Garza knocked Humberto off the top rope after he was distracted by Vega at ringside. Rey came back with a 619 on Garza and Andrade. Humberto then landed a top rope moonsault. Very good. He kind of overshot it, but it was better than Charlotte's. That's all I'll say. Hit the top rope moonsault on Andrade as Rey took Garza down with a head scissors at ringside, and Humberto and Rey Mysterio win in this tag team match. Easily the best thing on the show, and there were clear baby faces and clear heels in this match. And folks, I'm not complaining to complain. I watch this show with a creative writer's eyes. It's what I do, and it's what I've become good at. Okay? If you don't like anything that I'm saying on this show, the fucking X in the top right corner is there winking at you. There's no way you can refute anything I stated in the 1 hour and 2 minutes I've been here so far. Give me a break. There's so many logic gaps on this show. It's fucking sickening. Stop defending garbage. I am here to call out the garbage. I'm not watching this shit as a fan anymore. How the fuck can anyone be a fan of this shit? It's downright nauseating. Makes you look stupid. Anyway, moving on. Before we get to the main event, I want to shout out my sponsors here. We got Blue Chew sponsoring the podcast today. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkouts and get your free trial of Blue Chew. Listen, I know. You don't need to tell me anything, man. I know that Goldberg and Bray Wyatt at Super Showdown and the creative decision that went into that match left you feeling defeated. I know your wife looked at you this weekend and that's all you were thinking about. Your girlfriend looked at you this weekend and that's all you were thinking about. You're looking at her and saying, honey, I can't do anything. I feel unmotivated. I feel flaccid. I feel weak. I don't feel like a man after what I seen in Saudi Arabia. How could they cut the balls off from Bray Wyatt? You were legitimately feeling Bray Wyatt's pain and agony this weekend. Blue Chew is here to save you. Now you can increase your performance and feel better than you did at Super Showdown and get that extra confidence in bed. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill. So you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. Bray Wyatt don't have an opportunity at WrestleMania to defend the WWE Universal title. They took that away from him. Don't take a great Saturday night away from your girlfriend or your wife. If you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is fast, easy, and it's a great way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy. It ships right to your door in a very discreet package. The mailman won't know what he's putting in that box. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy, and best of all, there's no more awkwardness. Right now, I got a special deal for all our listeners right here on Off the Script. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code JD. All you guys got to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Again, that's BlueChew.com, promo code JD to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, and faster choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script. Beth Phoenix, the last thing on this show. Beth Phoenix walks to the ring, and she looks like she's ready to cry. She begins to talk to the crowd in Brooklyn, and out comes Randy Orton. He made that long walk to the ring that the Viper usually makes. Beth says she's anticipated he'd be here. She told him in a very angry tone that she is there as a wife to her husband and a mother to her children because they deserve their father and she deserves her husband. Orton sat on the top turnbuckle and he listened very intently. And then he jumped down and stepped towards her. He circled her like a shark in a pool filled with blood. And there was an RKO chant in Brooklyn. Man, I love my New Yorkers when the time is right, man. They know what is the best for business. Orton said he owed Beth an explanation. So we finally, after all these weeks, get an explanation. Matt Hardy couldn't get an explanation out of him. For 2 weeks in a row, Matt Hardy couldn't get an explanation out of Randy Orton. Beth Phoenix and her presence got an explanation out of Randy Orton. He started with a little story. He said back in October 1999, WWE had a live event in St. Louis, his hometown. He said his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton, took him downtown to meet some WWE agents because he was looking at age 19 to break into the business. He said at that point, he was a fan, but the business is in his blood. He said being backstage to see Steve Austin, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, was impressive. But the one man he respected so much was Edge, because Edge paid respect to Randy Orton's dad. He said it filled him with pride to see Edge shake his father's hand. He said Edge told him he was one of the best bad guys in the history of the business. I like the fact that Randy Orton used bad guys and not heels. Of course, WWE wouldn't use that terminology, but I like it. Bad guy. It's what I think of when I think of my childhood. They were bad guys. Now, we're all smart marks, and we use all the cool wrestling lingo. Bad guy. He loved it. It filled him with pride. He said a handful of years later, he and Edge were battling together in main events for the IC title, and they were stealing the show every day and night. He said they eventually became tag team champions with Rated RKO. He said then, while they were flying high, he hit a rough patch and flew too close to the sun and made poor life decisions. He said he made such bad decisions, he should have been buried by them. So he said Edge saved his life, and he made him realize there is more to life, love, children, and starting a family. Beth looked moved by what she was hearing. Orton says he was able to treat a woman right because her husband saved her life. Orton said what he did was save his life. He said at the Royal Rumble, the reception for Edge gives him goosebumps. He said the next night he realized Edge thought he was back for good. So Randy Orton is going on and on and on about how Edge thought he was going to be able to come back and wrestle full time again. And he saved Edge's life. He realized that Edge thought he was back for good. Said he wanted Beth's children to have a father. Thanks to me, Edge is going to be able to ride bikes, take hikes, take them to basketball or softball practice, and that's because of me. I did it because I love Edge. I love you, and I love your two little girls. Orton said the sad truth is everybody blames him for what he did to Edge, and everyone thinks it's his fault. He told Beth that she knows it's not his fault. She shook her head no, and then Orton said, Beth, this is all your fault. You are an enabler. Orton said if Edge was a drug addict, she wouldn't take them away. He said Edge is a junkie for the roar of the crowd, yet she did nothing to stop it and help him. He said he had to step in because he loved him like a brother. He said he did what he did so their kids could have a father. Beth kept crying. Orton said he realizes as he says it out loud that he loves their beautiful girls and Edge more than she could ever love them. So fans were chanting bullshit at Randy Orton, very faintly, but it was there. And then Orton said, while she's crying, the truth hurts, doesn't it? She wiped away some tears and gave him a nasty look, and you knew something was going to happen here. She slapped him in the face. Orton then threw down the microphone and put his hands on his knees. He bent over. He was brewing with rage, and he tried to suppress it. Beth then stood there, not moving, emotionless. Fans were chanting RKO. They had to stare down. They exchanged some words without the microphones picking it up. Beth then kicked Randy Orton in the midsection, and Orton gave her a quick RKO. So we've seen these long cuts to the people in the crowd giving shocked expressions and, oh my God, how could he do that? Right? It's 2020. Here we have man-on-woman violence, whatever. This was very tame. This was very tame. And please, do not cry over the fact that WWE is eliciting man-on-woman behavior. I know it's coming. It's going to be said somewhere on social media by some fucking idiot that clearly does not get the art of storytelling. This is Randy Orton at his finest. This is what he does best. This was anticipated. This was expected. This should have happened. And I'm glad it did. I would have loved to see more brutality. I would have loved to see Randy Orton do a concerto. I would have loved to see Randy Orton take a steel chair and wrap the fucking thing around her neck. I would love to see Randy Orton do what he did to Matt Hardy to Beth Phoenix, because it's for the art of storytelling. I would have loved to see bloodshed, but this is 2020. WWE can't get away with that type of shit. This is not the day and age where the fucking Dudley Boys are powerbombing Mae Young off the stage through fucking tables down below. We're not in that day and age. I get it. But you got to give and you got to take. I'll gladly take this. I enjoyed this. Randy Orton's explanation was great. This is Randy Orton at his best. Fucking Randy Orton in this role is the best thing on Monday Night Raw right now. Easily the best thing on Monday Night Raw. Easily the best thing going into WrestleMania. If there's one thing that I'm invested in is to see Edge come out and fucking wreak havoc all over Randy Orton. Edge at WrestleMania, get his revenge on Randy Orton. Some type of stipulation match is being rumored. I don't know what it is. I don't care. You got me. I'm invested. But that's one match out of a possible 16. That doesn't bode well for WrestleMania. Randy Orton ain't that good. He's good, but he ain't that good. Edge and Randy Orton is going to be fantastic, and Edge will be back next week. Mark my words. That's your Monday Night Raw review. This show sucked. This show, after everything that I mentioned and everything that I went over, on paper, looked like a home run show. At the end, for the 3 hours, this was nothing more than utter disappointment. Logic gap, logic gap, logic gap, logic gap. I don't know. I don't know why I should care about anything that's happening on this show. Everything that's being done is fucking lifeless. It's emotionless. There's no fucking excitement. There's no sense. Why should I care? WWE continues their string of terrible creative. It's been happening forever, but man, last Thursday was the cherry on top of the cake. It seems like they're taking that all the way into WrestleMania. I have no faith in this company turning anything around and making anything exciting happen at WrestleMania. Guys, I'm getting out of here. If you enjoyed the podcast, thumbs it up. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Twitter, @JD from NY206. Check out all the other videos that you might have seen on the channel. My voice is a little raspy because of all the yelling I did on Friday SmackDown. I still have not recovered on that. That's how heated that video was. Hopefully I'll be better for the rest of the content this week. And until then, guys, thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you right back here with more content on the channel on Tuesday. I might do a little live streaming this week, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for all of that stuff on the channel. Until then, take care, guys. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with more content on the channel. See you later.